Hey guys, I'm Gianni Castillo, and today I'm going to be briefing for you the case of Ahern versus Scholz. So first, I'm going to start with a little background for you guys. So this case involves the leader of the successful band Boston. If you guys aren't familiar with the name, they have that very famous song, "More Than a Feeling." It goes a little something like, "It's more than a feeling," and yeah, just to refresh your memory a little bit. And So the case involves that leader of that band and their former manager. So Tom Scholz, the leader of the band, is actually an extremely talented musician. He plays the guitar, bass, drums, keyboard, and he's the lead singer of the band. But in this case, he's going to be playing the defendant. And their former manager, Paul Ahern, he's going to be the plaintiff. For the statement of facts, the two had multiple agreements. One being a further modification agreement, which actually required both parties to pay royalties to each other for separate things. So I'm going to break that down for you guys. Under the agreement, Scholz was required to pay over $1 million in royalties to Ahern for the third album that they put out, and vice versa. Ahern was required to pay Scholz $459,000 in royalties for their first and second albums. Now, both parties neglected to pay the royalties, and Ahern filed a lawsuit against Tom Scholz for breach of contract. So the issue of this case, is whether or not Scholz violated the further modification agreement by not paying the royalties. And the rule here is that royalties that are set by legal contracts or agreements to be paid must be paid. And in this case, they weren't. So for the analysis, under the further modification agreement, Ahern was required to account for and pay Scholz every 6 months. Now, at trial, he admitted to have not paid Scholz, and Scholz claims that this breach of contract was, by definition, material, which means basically that the violation that Ahern had committed was significant enough to justify a lawsuit. And the funny thing is that the further modification agreement actually only required Ahern to send letters regarding the payment of the royalties, which he did. And Scholz had never actually replied back to him. So the court ruled that the claim was not true and that Ahern did not actually violate their agreement. Scholz actually also argued that Ahern was involved with other fees that once they had minused out those fees, his balance of the royalties was below zero, so he did not feel like he had to pay any more royalties to him, which the court ruled this is not true either. They did not agree with this, and they ended up rewarding Ahern $547,000 in damages. Scholz proceeded to motion for a new trial, but the district court denied his motion. So the holding of this case is yes, Scholz violated the further modification agreement by not paying the required royalties, and as a result, Ahern was awarded $547 in damages.